Speckle Park, well, they came into Australia 13 years ago or so. A few people imported embryos, a new breed that hadn't been done before in Australia, and the results that they were getting at agribition in Canada on the carcass data and whatnot made it hard to believe that there wasn't something in it. After all the research we did, drove around a lot of studs through southern Queensland, northern New South Wales, and the common theme was the carcass, the taste qualities and the yield. So yeah, they look pretty in the paddock, but it's what's under the coat that really matters to us, and that's what we're breeding for. There's not many sales you go to now, like even in Toowoomba, where you don't see a Speckle Park infused cattle. And that's the exciting part about Speckle Park is the hybrid vigour, getting those genetics out there to the Angus breeders, the Limousin breeders, and trying to expand our breed and get that data behind us that we need to grow. Angus has been around for a long time in Australia, and they've got a lot of it down pat, and us as a breed need to do that as well. But when you look at the raw data that we've got with our cattle, it's up there with some of the better studs around, the more established studs. So I'm sure people will see the effort that we've put into our cattle, getting them quiet. You know, a lot of people are telling me Speckle Park have a temperament problem, but you've seen today that that's far from the case, particularly with our stuff. Being away from my young family, it sort of made sense to come back to farming. I was passionate about it, and I believed that it was undervalued at the time. So I thought it's not a bad time to get back into farming from myself. Dad's always been in it, obviously, and we've done a lot of improvements on the farm since I've been home. New cattle yards, the sale yards, laneway systems, and getting our rotation and our crops right. And that comes back to the cattle that we've got now, and that's starting to show through now for us. We decided to work on Mum and Dad's property here that they've owned since around the year 2000. Very fertile country. The cattle do very well. The cattle milk well on it, and that comes through with your weaners and then through to your bulls and your sale animals later on. Very fertile black soil down the bottom, as you can see with the oats that we've got this year. We've got feed there now for our bulls until at least sale day and beyond, and you can see the quality of them now on quality feed, on how they're doing. I've lost count of the amount of times that we've actually sold meat to friends and family and neighbours that usually are not critical on what you do. Everyone knows what the old farmers like. They do it right, it's their way or the highway. So when people like that have been eating steak for 60 years, when we give them a T-bone steak or a rump steak or a rib fillet, to have them come back and say that was the greatest steak they've ever had, that doesn't just happen by chance. You know, there's definitely something in the breed there that we need to focus on, that the tasting qualities are just phenomenal. We're fortunate enough to be able to feed our steers and heifers for market on grain, and they finish off well, they convert the feed better than any other breed, and they yield well. We're looking at some of our animals are up to 65% yield, dress weight on the carcass, which is sometimes unheard of, particularly for British breeds. And that's dollars in the pocket for the farmers if we can capitalise on that. And then to also have the tasting qualities there, the fat cover, the marbling through that meat, there's just an untapped potential there for the breed that we really need to focus on and push, and it'll be better for all us breeders when that happens. So our first sale, inaugural sale on farm, 28th of August at 4 p.m. Very excited about the genetics we've got, very diverse. We're fortunate enough to have Adelson, Speckle Park Speckles and Beth Vide join us on that day in offering their amazing cattle as well. We believe it's a good opportunity for people to diversify their genetics. There's going to be quite a few stud bulls that will be great for backup herds for their own stud females, plus also for the commercial market. We're breeding cattle with leg under them for the Queensland conditions so that they can get across the paddocks and mate with those females with ease. And sometimes that can be a bit of a drawback for some of the British breeds, is not having that leg, but that's what we're trying to breed into our cattle as well. So very excited about our sale. There'll be a lot there for diverse genetics. People from all over Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria have shown interest in the sale so far, and I'm sure they're going to get some really good cattle on the day. And I encourage them to request a catalogue and have a look at what we've got to offer.